I need some weed that's hella strong. We can hit the blunt, or we can hit the bong. I need some weed to calm my nerves. I need some super weed and the queen to roll my herbs. I need some weed to get me high. I need some weed every day and every night. I need some weed, I really do. I need some weed that smell like Pepe Le Pew. I need some weed exclusively. And I don't like sharing, so it's just me. I need some weed to get me right. I need some weed every day and every night. I need some weed to get me right. I need some weed every day and every night. I need some weed with long orange hair. Some stupid weed and my queen to roll it up in her underwear. I need some weed. Hear what I said? You heard me? I need some weed and my queen to give me some head. I need some weed, some bomb ass herbs. I need some super weed that gon' make me swerve. Now every day's the same, we stay blowing on ganja, but OG still call it the crown head. West Coast blood in my lungs, house bright up. Everybody else wishing they could touch this product, but they can't. I take hits like Ripken, Smokey hit your chest like your door got kicked in. Fuck a vape pen, pass the Dutch, cause that shit don't do nothing to me, bruh. And I don't give a fuck, I put it on my tribe, and I don't care where we at, I'm getting high. Weed player, SJ maybe is a Crip smoker stoner, but I keep the business for real. Now I don't got time for games. Now I don't break bread with no lame. And anything I'm involved with gon' be a success. So just watch me get that check. I need some weed to get me right. I need some weed every day and every night. Come on, y'all. I need some weed with long orange hair. Some stupid weed and my queen to roll it up in her underwear. I need some weed, so gon' pass me the blunt. I've been smoking real heavy since 13 years old. Now you can catch me in the city smoking all kinds of flavors, pulling up new kicks, elevated. Got a few baddies on my phone, blowing me up, Snapchatting with no clothes. I gotta keep a couple, double trouble, and each better chief like Cheech and make the water bubble over mouth. And it's like that, real shit. I only fuck with a real down ass stoner bitch. You know my steez, SJ about the trees. I can give a fuck about the feed. I need some weed and some titties on my face with a kitty on my lap. Keep that kitty cat baked, but I got biz to handle, so I gotta go. Fuck, I just missed the call from D-Lo. I need some weed to get me right. I need some weed every day and every night. Come on, y'all. I need some weed with long orange hair. Some stupid weed and my queen to roll it up in her underwear. I need some weed.
Do you need some weed? Do you need it? Ah, we love it. It's out there. Marijuana right there. Stoner Jordan doing his thing. Shout out to him. How are we doing out there? It is a Thursday. It is an episode that I've been looking forward to, honestly. I found out about Surreal Selections here, joining PSN, and today get to have a conversation with a guy, you know what I'm saying, about, and it's funny too, because the only time I've ever seen him do interviews, he had an interesting setup, so I'm looking forward to seeing what goes down today. What's up with you, though, Marijuana? Thank you for popping in here early, my early birds. How you doing? What are you smoking? Talk to me about that. I'm sorry I always ask, but I gotta ask. Smokey Soldier said, side by side day. You are right. And when you right, you right. It is Surreal Selection side by side day. So I've got my good dude, Cameron, in here. Smoke Dog. He said, dropping the government's fucked up. But hey, you can find him out there, Arizona, rolling dog bones. That's these beautiful blunts that I got in front of me right now. Shout out to him. Eggs in the chat letting me know you fuck with me. Thank you so much. Smoke Dog said he's rolling a for some Bubba. Nice. Fuck yeah. Look at that. So I'm trying to get some of that Surreal in your lungs. Mike also got a Bleezy of the Bubba. Nice. You can get the Bubba. You know, if we were on Twitch exclusively, I could be talking about what them Bubba deals right now. But if you're in Arizona, yes, hit it out there, the flower shop. It is going down. All right, marijuana though. Let's get into some topics. I'm going to light up this side by side here, but I do want to get into some topics that I saw go down. One of them is the rescheduling update. I think this is the biggest news that we have going on in cannabis. Obviously, is that Trump signed over the rescheduling of cannabis from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3. And they dropped this article giving us an update. One of the updates that they made was they changed to likely to using the word may. And if you know anything about politics, wording is very important. Some of us out there have considered maybe that they don't sign this. What does that mean? To me, this is a sign that they are working towards signing it. They're working out some kinks where there's some differences between recreational and medical marijuana. I'm going to drop this article in the chat. If you want to fully look over it and dive in, you'll be able to have that opportunity. Let me slide this over here. Boop, 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 boop. But very interesting to see kind of, this being discussed. There was something more that they were, in a sense discussing about it. One was, in order for you to have FDA approved products for consumption by consumers, there's a lot of scrutiny that you got to go through. And one of them, when they're discussing the facilities, the facility licensing and things like that, the scrutiny that they would have under federal scrutiny as opposed to just the state is tremendous. A lot of people have said that you can kiss a shitload of facilities goodbye if they have to implement what on a federal expectation is for a facility that's producing products for consumers at that scale. So it's interesting to see how this is developing. This is the biggest news in cannabis is rescheduling. They dropped some news on there. Shout out to marijuanamoment.net. A fantastic resource for cannabis news, and you saw me dive in there often. So interesting to see kind of how that rolls out. I mean, look, this is the thing with this thing, right? When this rolls out, it's not, I know a lot of people out there like, oh, big canna, this is all a takeover and stuff like that. But we have seen and we have witnessed and we are in the midst of what happens when people who don't know shit about cannabis write cannabis law. Gray area. Oh, the gray area will fucking live strong on this one. So after this gets rolled out, after reschedule comes about, it will get dissected by lawyers all across the nation, and there will be lanes created that were never created before because of this movement. So don't think that this is only going to be something for the commercial crowds, this, that, and the other. Just look at what happened with the 2018 farmer or the hemp bill, right? All of a sudden now we've got the Green Door shipping you weed all across the nation for the past 7 years. Green Door hasn't been doing it, but that's how long they could have been doing it, right? So it's one of those things. We're going to continue to dive into that as we as that develops, though. So check that out. Now, kind of along with this, right? Along with this development of recreational cannabis, rescheduling, I shit you not, I saw a term used yesterday, and I saw it used twice in major media, and I said they are literally going to start using this term. Have you seen them start using the term bootleg cannabis? Have you seen the news get out there and start calling it bootleg cannabis? Right here, man arrested 2 pounds of suspected bootleg cannabis seized from a Baltimore smoke shop. Now, the reason I find this funny is because of alcohol, right? It's almost like history repeats. You get some bootleg liquor, now you can go and get some bootleg cannabis, right? They are trying to play the same playbook that they did with liquor, and it's kind of hysterical. Bootleg cannabis. Commercial. Gotta fucking laugh at these guys, man. They've been calling it that, Tech. Really? That's the first time I've seen it. I haven't seen it like that, called like that at all. I've seen it called fake bake. fucking hemp is the big one, right? They want to call it hemp. They want to say, oh, that's hemp. That's hemp. Oh, look at all these people getting free advertisement. God damn. Interesting stuff going on in cannabis, though, man. Interesting stuff going down in cannabis. All right. I'm going to start this side by side before we have Surreal get on here, because I want to make sure that I'm not choking on the marijuana when I am having the conversation with him. The two strains that we have here are Truffle Monkey and 6-7. Nice. All right. Because if I'm not mistaken, 6-7 was in a bracket. What's up, F30? How you doing? Marijuana to you guys. What's up with you guys over here? Alex, that was a 2. Truffle Monkey and 6-7. Didn't he enter 6-7? We'll have to ask him. All right, I'm going to hand over 6-7 to my dude. Smoke Dog to light up. Truffle Monkey is the one with the band on it. So that one is the Truffle Monkey, the one with the band. Okay, before we light up, you know what we've got to do. We have our theme music officially. What do you guys think about our theme music? I like it. All right. And let's go.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiancé didn't show. Woo! Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
What up, Tech?
And they're always glad you came.
Ethan Blicky, what up?
You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
Thank you so much for popping in here today. It is the morning wood. All right, I'm going to get into this side by side. I see Surreal in the motherfucking chat. What's up? It is go time, my guy. Let's talk about it. I remember when Blackleaf was on the show, my man said he ain't smoked but 3 of yous. Oh. 6-7 gives me like, is that a Z terp in there? Oh. Nice. Passing it off to my dude Smoke Dog. Whew. Dog Bones. Appreciate him coming up here, making sure that I smoke a proper roll blunt. You know what I mean? I don't want to give Paul a heart attack out there. I feel like when Paul saw me rolling blunts, I lost a viewer. You know, he was like, fuck this. I don't give a fuck if I own the network. I can't see it. So Dog Bones came over here and made sure it's proper for me. Thank you so much, my guy. All right, let's get into one more topic before we bring over here Mr. Surreal. I saw this go down. It is happening. Clutch Cannabis is going to be able to have a conversation with LeBron James. And I don't know if that's not worth all this, right? At some point, Clutch Cannabis is going to have to sit down with LeBron James and discuss this issue, right? At least his representation. What was going on with Clutch Cannabis out there in Ohio even, right? In Ohio, you have to know. But that's interesting. I just saw this come up. I said, oh, LeBron James is in the marijuana news. Let's talk about it. Oh, shit. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get your meet and greet. Ohio and shit like that, big fans of LeBron. I bet you they tried for all kinds to get LeBron involved. They said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a different approach. Because you could even imagine, like, probably a visitation, like, what do you call, like, when you want a celebrity pull up, they all have their price or whatever. For LeBron to pull up, it's probably pretty expensive, right? Probably millions of dollars. Right here, she'd probably get it thrown out, man. He'd probably just be like, oh, I'm bullshit, man. I'm over here stoned, man. Don't be paying attention to me. Don't be paying attention to me. I just thought that was funny. All right, here we go. Gotta make a decision on which blunt that we are smoking. I think I know, though. Personally, and the one without the bed was a 6.7, right? This is 6.7. Six, seven. The kids have won today. It's floating out there. I'm choosing 6.7 as well. That is making the win. Very flavor, very impactful, actually. Very impactful. We're gonna have to discuss this. Is Z, now I might have to add this to my questions. If you grow Z, it really doesn't matter how you fucking grow this motherfucker. This Z is some motherfucker. It is resilient. This fucking Z is gonna shine, baby. The Z will shine. Z is impressive, right? We talked about it out there with the mixed light. Going crazy. Living soil. Going crazy. God damn. Z is a fucking mystery plant. Let's go. Blicky might need to cleanse that palate with that big gulp, baby. You see it? Come on. If you didn't know, I'm a Slurpee loving motherfucker, right? If this is the first appearance of a Slurpee, wow. Look, that's too much action. That's too much action. What's happening? Yo, what? Camera trip? Camera bugging. What the fuck is happening? It literally is anti-slurp, dude. Dude, the slurp ain't in it. All right, let me figure this out. What is happening right now? What's going on? No, there. Oh, bring up the slurp and wow. You know what though? I'm not even mad at that because I feel Slurpees really do have that kind of power. I had no idea that the Slurpee was magnifying like that though. No wonder I'm addicted to these bitches. Crazy. Anyways, marijuana. My apologies. Now I know that Slurpees are fucking, don't put them next to the equipment. Holy shit. Ooh, man, marijuana. All right, we got more to discuss though. We have, let me ask you guys out there actually. Let's start. Ooh, this is tasty too. So glad that this is the one we rolled up over here. How many of you out there are organic hunters, right? How many of you, we've got 60 so people in here. How many of you guys are organic hunters? Curious. Because that's some of the question that I want to ask. Let's slide this over here. Is it just an unlevel playing field right now for organics when 5%? What percentage would you say is salt-based out there when it comes to facilities or growers, or it's just like you guys are outnumbered is how I look at it. How many people out here are organic hunters? I'm gonna see anybody? Surreal saying he's gonna guess 10%. Jump on here, baby. Let's get this going. Can't wait to have this conversation. Now it's go time. 97%, tech says. Damn. Synganic is the best of both worlds. Definitely have been seeing that term used. Tech said he's organic gang. Love it. Z, EDTA is my favorite terp profile. All right. That must be a grower joke right there. I'm going to drop that for you. Gotcha. That corn syrup, wild. Oh, you need the... Stop it. I'm over here wondering where you at, and I'm not setting you up for success, bro? That just sounds really lame. I've never had that happen. My bad. Here we go. Booyah! Booyah! Damn, Mario in here dropping fucking... Damn, grower joke. Nice. Because hey, though, I will be growing. Shout out to HGV. Bloop. I'm gonna grab some HGV and I'm gonna fire up the fucking tents, baby. Yeah. And you're gonna see I can produce lovely looking plants. Lovely looking plants. What's up, Jordan? Appreciate you popping in from overseas. How you living out there? What's your weed tasting like out there? What strains are going down in your town? You know what I mean? Pick up what I'm throwing down? Oh, shit. Here we go. All right, we got him. Oh, shit. Can you hear me?
What's up, man?
Oh, we can hear you. Are we ready for this conversation, my guy?
Yes, definitely.
I am ready for this motherfucking conversation. Welcome in, Surreal Selections, Stacks in the motherfucking building. How you feeling today, my guy?
I'm good, man. I'm actually a little bit under the weather, but I'm going to get it done here either way.
Okay, shit. I appreciate you fighting through that, man, to make this happen. I know that it's been a little bit delayed. I know when Blackleaf made that comment, right? It was like, oh, shit, hell no, he did not just say that, right?
Right.
Ah, man. So, yeah, let's get this conversation going. I think to start, though, in a sense, when we say organic, what does that actually mean to you?
Organic. Typically, I would think and say that things have to come naturally from the earth to be classified as organic. To be a little bit more detailed, I think it has to do with the mode of action that the plants experience. So in living soil or organics, plants call out for the nutrition they want through exudates. And in hydroponics, it's all ionically driven, sort of like steroids or something.
Okay.
But yeah, generally you want it to come from the earth, and you want to use a biological mode of action with your plants.
So with that, is the word organic being abused right now?
Yes. Yes,
Right? Because I mean, like,
definitely.
I feel like people like to use the term, but are they truly using things that are naturally from the earth exclusively to be able to use that term, do you think?
Yeah, I think most people that are growing organically are,
Okay.
but it has a lot to do with your substrate and how you set it up. Like you can use all organic amendments or ingredients, but if your substrate is too small, if you're in a 1 gallon pot and experiencing drybacks, then all the microbial life and living things die. So it's like it's hard to maintain a living soil or an organic system through biological mode of action without having a lot of substrate, big beds. So it's like I think people are just getting a little bit off there, maybe soil-based or cocoa-based organics, but there's a big difference between living soil and even that, in my opinion.
Nice. And that's where I was going to ask, do you think the two get confused a little bit, like living soil? And when people hear organics, they automatically assume that it is living soil.
Yeah. In our world, there's not really a real uh, verification of what's organic in cannabis like there is in food. Um, that'll be helpful, but it's just hard for these companies to do with where it's at federally as far as legalization, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because and also, what about just not too many people out there spreading awareness, putting a foundation out there for what some of these things are. So as cannabis is expanding and growing and hitting these rec markets now, where people are just picking it up out of nowhere, don't have anywhere that they can really find the history or definitions of some of these things.
Yeah, I think that'll be helpful when conversations like this are pointed at that, trying to get everybody on the same page and classifying the same way. I think it's important.
Let's get into the comment that Black Leaf made now, where he said that, I mean, I was shocked over his history. The man smokes a bunch, right? I mean, like, come on. And
For
he
sure.
said with only three, I said 3 or 4 organics. And yes, please take all the time too, man. I appreciate you having this conversation while you're ill. With Black Leaf saying though that he has only had 3 in his lifetime. Talk to me.
Yeah. I think he was just sort of, speaking in superlatives or whatever, just I think it's important though with how visible he is. He's one of our biggest mouthpieces in cannabis. So any statement like that, it becomes pretty important to people who hear that, thinking that somebody who has that much experience, decades in it, that have only seen 1 or 2 good growers, it's like, I know that's not true. I don't think, but yeah, it's like just want to be careful with what you say, I guess, when you're that visible. Course, it's like it start a war for against the organic guys. You know what I mean?
Right, and I feel like you guys, when you say that, I feel you guys have it already with overwhelming salt-based or now even synganics, which we'll get into. But like, there's not a lot of organic living soil growers out there. Do you feel that
Right.
living soil or organic should be judged side by side by salt grown?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think that in both methods you can achieve the highest level of cannabis as we know it today. Um, that's a good point though. I think a lot of why you don't see a lot more living soil has a lot to do with just the legality of it. In a
Really?
lot of these, yeah, in a lot of these states, the testing that needs to be done, you need sterile facilities. Everything has to be super clean. These little bugs that we deal with, or certain aspergillus, or certain things that test in the parts per billion and are generally safe and on all your food, they cannot be in cannabis in most of these states.
Right.
So it's basically almost impossible for some of our best growers at the largest scale to to take a shot at it with living soil. There are
Wow.
some,
I didn't
but
even I didn't realize that it came down to the testing like that. I've always considered that it was more so they want to invest in the living soil because if you have especially if you're no-till, if something goes wrong with that crop, then your whole soil base, like there's like I thought it was always more so you can correct
yeah, you
your
can't throw it away.
right, and so
Right.
you're saying actually no, but if you do just living soil, what they require on testing, it's just damn near impossible to do because of how living soil is functions.
Right. And
Damn.
I mean, in my opinion, of course. And then on top of that, we some of these amazing growers, I'll put it out there in the context of Blackleaf. Blackleaf works with probably some of the best growers in the entire world for his brand, Joe over at LA Family Farms. They have really pushed the boundaries as far as facilities and genetics, So he is smoking the best weed in the world. And, it's always come down to, is it fire? Is it fire? And that's important. But I sort of lost my like a track there.
That's okay. I
Oh,
appreciate you,
oh,
man.
that's what I was gonna get at. That's what I was gonna get at. Most of these guys, Joe, and a lot of these great growers have come from decades of using these systems, these hydroponic systems. They have dialed them in so perfectly. So on top of maybe dealing with testing, it's like, why are you going to try and change everything that's working? You know what I mean?
I do.
Decades of experience and perfecting something. There's really no need for them to push it. You know what I mean? Or change a bunch of things.
So are there no living soil type legacies out there? Like, I mean, isn't, and you think about like outdoor in a sense, right? You think about the Humboldt and whatnot. Like, isn't like the mecca of cannabis grown from soil outdoors in a sense? So
Man, I'm not really sure. Even on big farms like that outdoor where you would expect or want to try living soil, it's like, yeah, everything's done for uh, money. So if you think your plant needs food, you're going to feed it. And outside and greenhouses, sort of the same way, in my opinion, I think.
yeah. Word, no, I appreciate you joining us and having this conversation with me, man, because since I joined PSN, I've been paying attention a bit more to, the how organics are viewed and looked at, and it's made me reflect on it some and whatnot. And I love that you're coming on here to speak about it and talk about living soil and just help us understand or at least have a little bit more information about it. Now, what about like genetics? When you say that no matter what, it can be achieved to its highest level, however it's grown. Do genetics at all play a part in that?
Man, you caught me saying that, huh? Yeah, so generally I would say just most hydroponic formulas or brands, you're looking for a window that treats as many plants as you can right? You feed them this formula this day, they get that much. And if your plants acclimate and like that, they stay. And if not, most people just kick them out, right?
Right.
So, but with living soil, when a plant has the ability to call for the exact nutrition it wants through exudates, I think it's much easier to achieve the genetic optimum of that particular variety.
Ooh.
Right. So instead of finding a window that you're pushing or hey, this plant does good in this window or that formula, almost every plant gets to experience its genetic optimum in a balanced bed.
Wow.
That being said, though, some plants love steroids and love to show off under pressure and things like that. So I wouldn't say one is better than the other either.
It's interesting when you say that, though. It almost. Do you think that a living soil bed helps you understand a genetic quicker than having a synthetic? Because
Yeah.
right, you have to almost figure out the math of a when it's
Yeah.
synthetic, whereas if it's organic, it's getting it, like you just said, get everything it needs. So it's
Mhm.
interesting.
Right. So with hydroponics, you would find that window or those plants that express well with that formula or whatever protocols you're using. With organics, I think that it's not longer, but what you would do is you would run a batch through and do a soil test at the end to see what nutrition was taken out of the bed. Then you would do a tissue test on the actual plant and see, okay, this is the result of that. This is the amount of food it took. So the next batch, you can sort of expect that and know what the plant's going to take. In my opinion, it's probably an easier way to hone in exactly, to get the optimum out of the plant versus expecting a plant to perform in a window of fertilization, fertigation.
Okay. Now okay, with Blackleaf, you've had the discussion to a shout out to my dude over here, man. If you haven't heard it earlier in the episode, he said he was ill. He's powering through this interview right now, and please, man, take all the time you need to, man, because I do
Thank you.
appreciate it. So when he was on there, it started a discussion between you two. How has that gone since the initial discussion? Are you planning on getting Blackleaf?
You want me to WWF him? You want me to
No,
call
no,
him
no.
out?
But I think like you said, he has a
No, for
powerful
sure.
platform, right? Like, and so
Yeah.
I think that it
Lance is
was
a great guy, man.
he
And he's
is.
been treating me excellently and open with conversation. And I think he understands that it's all just conversation and it's all making all of us better,
I love
you
that
know?
too.
And
Yes.
like, again, I wouldn't say that he is wrong. You know what I mean? It's just a differing opinion. And hopefully we can sort of change that a little, I think.
Right, because I mean I'm smoking on this 6-7, right? This six
That's
seven is
smoking.
smoking, dude.
Thank
Good
you. Yeah.
shit. Nice.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
so this is, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you enter this into bracket too?
Yeah. I put that into the Z bracket and lost to Surefire. That's my guy, though.
Bro, I don't understand how they get those names mixed up.
Yeah, no, they must be trying
Yeah, I mean, look at man, yeah, yeah, right. That's funny.
it.
Well,
Those guys are
marijuana,
good
man, I
promoters,
appreciate
man.
this. There's a lot of conversations that I think just having about living soil. Let's put out some information out there for people because things you hear about living soil too would be like, oh, but the shelf life is longer. It ages like wine and things like that. Is there any like truth to that from your perspective?
No, I don't think so. With that particular one, I'll try and send you some type of paper to show this, but people make a lot of assumptions between the difference of hydroponic and living soil flower, the biomass. But it's really the chemistry of it at the end of the day is just chemistry.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's not any different for because it was eating a different way. You know what I mean? It has a lot to do with letting the plant go through proper senescence and finishing right. But as far as the things like shelf life or, some of these other blanket statements people like to make, almost all of them are false, man.
Okay. Nice. And have you, let's talk about Surreal and your story. Because I was out there hunting for you, trying to find some interviews and whatnot. I had people out there reach out to me, excited to watch this interview, man. You got people on the East
Thank you.
Coast that are out here, saying, "Yo, Surreal is putting it on for us out here,"
Thank you, man.
and love to see that for you, my man. Like, let's
Trying.
talk about what started your cannabis journey. What made you start growing? Right? I know
Man.
we're gonna. I feel like almost obligated to do that when I don't see an interview out there with someone. Where I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
that's the obligation, man. I gotta. The people want to know. Your fans want to know, man. Like, let's
Yeah.
hear it.
I mean, just like pretty much every man, I've been smoking weed since middle school. Starting to get a
Okay.
little bit older now. But the very first apartment I had when we moved, a couple of my homeboys, we got an apartment right out of high school. The first thing we did was set up some little closet grows with, you
Hell
know,
yeah. What year was this too? So I
man,
can kind
it
of
was
keep up.
horrible. This would have been like 2003,
Okay. Fuck
something
yeah.
like
Fuck yeah,
that.
man. That's cool. Out of high school saying, I want to grow some weed. Was this because like people around your area didn't have it or you were
Oh, bro,
inspired
yeah,
to
you already know. This
Woo.
was the era of like droughts. Like we would literally go months without good weed. Back then it
Oh,
was a problem.
where are you?
Uh, Philadelphia,
Okay, you're in Philly. Okay,
Philadelphia.
damn,
But
Philly.
yeah, for sure. Like back then it was either Mexican swag or the
Wow.
beasters that were coming
Wow.
across, and it wasn't even steady with them. But then, we got a little bit older and the Dutch genetics started coming through upstate New York and the sour and
The sour.
but yeah, yeah, to make a point, it's like I sort of I have experience with every type of growing method, whether it
Yeah.
was aeroponic or hydroponic, drip, flood. And the reason I choose to do this nowadays, a couple reasons, is that I find this way is the most consistent way that I can hit the competition level cannabis.
Okay.
Not grade A, but like that level even higher. And I feel like
Safely.
that's just, yes, I feel like it's just more typical and consistent for me to get it that through this method.
Fire.
And it's more fun. Gets
Oh,
boring just,
explain
putting the
that.
same formula in a tank over and over and over for years. I feel like this may have a little bit more artistic, you know, leeway to it this way. You're always learning. See?
Okay. Yeah, can you dive into that a little bit? Because like, the it makes it more fun is interesting to me. Is it because that you have like worms in the soil that you get to have like side pets and shit like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the soil, man.
Right?
But the yeah, when you come in and you just pour up the same formula on a rock wool cube every single day for 15 years, it gets a little bit boring.
I
I
feel that.
started living soil probably, man, what was it, 2017 or 18? A friend in Colorado started pushing me, and I started seeing some of the stuff he was getting. And yeah, it's just more fun, more to
That's dope.
learn, using the soil test. It's just always something new to pick up, I think.
And then this is like I didn't have this question planned at all, but I gotta ask, like, because I always wondered about the worms inside the soil. Do you think that like they'll nibble on the roots and get stoned themselves or some shit? You think they're stoned? You know what I
No,
mean? Like, you don't think they're stoned,
no, I mean, who knows?
right?
Maybe. I'm not a doctor.
I
That would be
wondered, like,
awesome
they're
if they
in a
were.
fucking bed of fucking weed, and it's like I wonder. So I've just been wondering like that for like the past like couple years and shit like that.
Yep. No,
Interesting. I don't
so
know.
typically the best way to look at that would be to think of like in a forest. In a forest, when a tree falls on the ground, it's not bioavailable or nutrition for the other trees right away, not even close. What happens is it'll break down, bacteria and worms and mycorrhizae will tear it up and they'll digest it like the worms. And what they poop out is more bioavailable, and that's sort of the mode of action. And it gets very small where you're talking
Wow.
about nematodes and small bacterias, but it's like, yeah, it's Mother Nature's not wrong, so I feel like it's just best to try and let her have the power instead of me trying to say, oh no, that needs 3 EC today. Like I don't know. That's a guess.
Totally, man. I appreciate that in that analogy too, because I like that analogy better than when you just said that. Like, the common one is like when a tree falls, does it make a sound? Now we got when the cannabis plant falls, do the elk get stoned off the leaves and shit? And that answer is yes. God damn it. All
Yeah,
right,
everything loves weed, man. That's for sure
everything.
outside.
Damn right.
Everything.
Um, are you out there creating your soil from scratch, or do you run a pre-built?
Yes. Man, most of the pre-built soils out there can work for
Okay.
this type of system. Whether you want to buy Fox Farm or whether you want to start with Build a Soil or Kiss Organics, these are some of the good guys. You can start with that, and it all comes down to the testing and re-amending
Mm,
of your multiple cycles.
mm,
Everything you would expect to be balanced and right through your first cycle.
mm.
But then as you might get a little bit more advanced, those are really expensive. So yeah, we end up making most of the soil, cooking it with compost and gypsum, just much cheaper that way.
Oh man.
That's another thing. I don't know the answer to this. I'd be curious. I'm sure somebody could mention, but people always mention that living soil might be more expensive to run at scale, versus like a hydroponic system. And I know it's much more expensive to initially start, but I don't see how anything could compete with it as far as cost at scale when you're amending with alfalfa meal or soybean meal. They're negligible in cost, and the other methods you're throwing away piles of cocoa, blocks of rock wool. I just don't see how it could be more expensive. Maybe it is. I'm curious to see some metrics on that nowadays.
And I actually will be able to pull some of that metrics for you. There's a brand, Abundant Organics in Arizona, and they run a living soil, but they mix them and then use them only on one run. And so like they're doing that with their
Yeah.
soil like that. So I can ask them. And then we have another company out here called Verdant that does a no-till living soil. So they do
Right.
have the beds and they are, going through cycles. With you
Mhm.
mentioning cycles, actually, it made me wonder like with a bed that when you're creating this living soil bed, is there like a kind of rule of thumb that like, okay, by fucking cycle 4, you are going to be cooking or
Yeah,
no?
the beds do seem to get better with time,
Right.
just because of that the mycorrhizal and bacterial growth being more mature.
Okay.
It helps with the soil food web that way, I think. Yeah.
So there's no cycle that it's like, okay, by this time, it's just kind of like, no, oh, you're on fucking cycle 30 in that
Yeah.
bed? Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some beds that have been around for 26 or 27 cycles.
No shit.
Yeah. Green Light Productions in Las Vegas, they have some that are 40 or 50 cycles deep.
Wow.
Yep.
Now let me
Yeah.
ask then. So when you're on cycle 27 over here, do you have other beds that are less cycled?
Yes.
Do
Yep. Yep.
you circle a genetic back it to like a bed and do a side by side?
As long as your beds are balanced at the end of every run, you send your soil test off and you bring them back to balance. It doesn't crop rotation like you're talking about. It doesn't really matter that much.
No shit.
Yeah, yep. The beds are just balanced and ready to give up what they need, to the plant that's calling for it.
Well then, okay, so when it makes me wonder then where we talk about how it gets better and better by the cycle, but when I say, well, when we compare it to one that's in a less cycle and you're saying, well, they're balanced, is that because it's the same like facility, same grower and things like
Yeah.
that? It basically,
I,
because
I would say that that's probably a generalized statement also.
okay.
Like you wouldn't be guaranteed that a bed with 40 cycles is going to be better than 20. There's a lot of intricacies as far as, what you're amending with and cover crop, all types of stuff. But
I love it.
you mentioned a minute ago also about the living soil guys in Arizona. And like one would be calling himself living soil and then pulling all of his dirt out of his pots or beds and re-amending it every cycle. Like that is in my opinion, a negative thing where you're sort of killing everything that's had the time to build up in there. So then same thing. I don't want to generalize too much, but with synganics also, you're calling and asking for a plant to take on two modes of action. You're asking for the plant to absorb and eat with biological methods and also through ionic with the steroids.
Too
So
much.
like those, right? Yeah.
It's like,
So
whoa,
like
dog.
those, what's that?
It's like, whoa, man, what are you doing?
Right? Yeah. So in doing that, you're sort of every time you hit it with a salt, you're killing off those bacterias, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you're killing off those mycorrhizae, and then you re-add them again. So it's like people are calling this living soil or some type of organics. In my opinion, it's not though. It is something completely different, and that's okay. It's the synganics thing, but I don't have documentation about this, but I don't imagine that a plant that's being confused about how to eat or how to absorb its nutrition is going to be the quality of one that has the same method the entire way through.
I mean that science, I can agree with that comment for sure. Interesting. We can go so many ways with this too, because when you mentioned that, you mentioned it calling it steroids in a sense, right? And that is to
I
produce.
shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that
I
really,
mean,
but
but
yeah,
in a
it's
sense,
a
it's a term that is trying to juice up and build up the nugs, right? And
yeah, it's just easier for people to understand that way.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a forced method of nutrition.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think at this point we do need to have that direct correlation so people can understand it because it is so new. There's not a lot of information out there. So I do like the analogy. Do you think that what I'm seeing recently is people are discussing now that like the growth in your flower stages, if you continue to push it, you're more just so building yield and not quality. Do you
Yeah,
find any truth to that? Like are you looking at that type of
I
process?
do.
Okay.
I do. I'm not sure. Man, that's a hot button topic
It
too.
is.
There's definitely been some papers put out that can almost directly inversely correlate yield to quality.
Damn.
Uh, but then again, you have guys talking Joe and Scott at Wizard Trees who are getting 3, 4 pounds per light, and it's fire. You know what I mean? So
Interesting too. Good
it's
shit.
one of
Yeah.
those things
Right.
yeah, to make any total blanket statement is really it's tough right now as we're all just still learning.
I love it. Right?
Hmm.
It's amazing times, unprecedented times where we're actually getting to talk about marijuana. We're getting ready to
Man,
watch people experiment in it, dive in.
yeah.
You out
Wow.
here been growing since 2003. You've got yourself 20 years of growing, my man. Congrats on that. That's
Yeah.
love.
Man, it happened fast.
That's
I don't know
love.
what
That is
happened with
fucking
the
love.
time.
Well, let's talk about some of your heaters out there that you got, man. Let's talk about some of the strains that you hang your hat on, the ones that you have found that
Yeah.
you want to discuss today. What are some of the strains people should know about you with? Obviously, 6-7.
Yeah, that's a fun one right there. We've been man, running through a lot of, well, as permanent marker, I seem
Nice.
to get just like an outrageous expression out of these beds. It's a little
Fire.
bit different.
Wow.
Yeah, really loud, really staining. And so that being obvious to me, I started just running through permanent marker crosses. Everything in the garden got
I,
crossed to permanent marker. We
I love a
bought all the
marker.
Sea Junkies permanent marker.
Yeah.
Right
Hell
now
yeah.
I'm deep down the permanent marker trail. But yeah, we also have, some Z crosses. I have this Black Lime Reserve to Skittles or Skittles to Black Lime Reserve male that I like to work with. That's the father in the 6-7. But yeah, hopefully I'm going to be able to start putting a little bit more of my proprietary stuff out there.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, well, let's talk about the, proper doinks effect a little bit. Let's talk about entering these brackets a little bit. Like, how
Man.
confident are you that you're gonna pull the fucking bracket and be that champ one day, baby?
Man, someday for sure.
Yeah,
But I just love it. I think these guys, they are changing the industry, man,
fire.
by giving us growers a place to compete and lose and get better and talk to each other. Uh, it's been revolutionary for me to
Wow,
mess with the proper doinks guys, man.
wow,
Yeah,
that's fucking
super
epic.
helpful.
That is
Yeah,
dope right
super
there.
helpful.
Yeah. And I talk about it too. I tell people like, hey man, like we're right now, this network, this growth is putting on the ones that are the most passionate on its,
Yeah.
on a
No,
shine.
it's definitely special. It's definitely special. But I just like to compete too. Like
Nice.
I grew up wrestling and boxing, and
Okay.
now I'm in my 40s, so it's like I
Woo!
don't like getting beat up, but I just love to compete. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just fun. It gets the butterflies going. It gives you something to shoot for and work towards, his
Yeah.
goals and stuff. It's been fun, man. I'm excited to keep at it.
Let the weed suplex it, right? So
Yeah.
did you
Yeah.
by chance get into the open bracket that just popped off?
Yes.
What
Yep.
he said
Yep.
yes. No,
Man.
like I shouldn't even ask type shit, huh? Every bracket that
Yeah, no,
pops, you come in.
I want to be in as many as I can. It's just fun.
Hell yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
I'm not sure. I think I'm about to do some QCing here once I get off with you to see because I know we're getting down to the wire as far as timing.
Yeah.
It's like I have some of these crosses, permanent marker crosses that I'm thinking about entering. But then again, the open bracket, man, I think that the level of competition is skyrocketing. Every single bracket is getting better and better. The brands are getting better and better.
Wow.
I think that every single bracket, you're going to have a unicorn batch to really win, to take it the whole way. I
Wow.
don't think it's going to be easy at all. You know what I mean?
Wow. That is fucking
Yeah.
tight. As someone then that's been paying attention to proper doinks, you yourself have witnessed then the brackets getting better and better as time's gone.
Yeah. I started off watching this as a fan, when I first found out about them in the chat with all the homeboys there in the chat. But
Shout out to
it's
the
like,
chat.
right? But yeah, you watch the brackets where things were getting put out, there were knockouts happening, and now it's like, man, every single every single person you're gonna come up against is one of the premier people in our country at it.
That's love
So,
right there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's cool. Like
All that being said, I think I probably just have to send in the regular permanent marker for the
ah,
open bracket.
no shit, huh?
Like I know people are gonna be coming with it, so that's, hey, that might be my best shot.
Right. Hey, I mean, and with your QC process, do you find yourself doing the same thing and going through the nuances of the cannabis and everything like that?
Yep. Man, that's basically the only way I'm smoking flower at this point. It's
Wow.
exhausting.
Thank God. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, if they're
props,
gonna
man.
tell you how to win, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? If they're gonna tell you what they're looking for and how to win and you see all the processes,
Yeah.
it's silly not to roll up to 12 millimeters and put them side by side and see what they're seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
For
No,
sure.
man,
Have
love
to.
that intake and seeing that what it's gone across the nation with smokability and the
Oh
camaraderie
man.
that we're seeing.
Yeah.
And
Bro, it's
let's
big in New York. The Proper Doinks boys, New York City is popping with Proper Doinks fans right now, and it's making everyone smarter.
That's what you know. What we were talking to Gino over at Gotti yesterday or the
I
other day,
called that.
whatnot.
Yeah, I called it late.
Yeah, and he fucking said the same thing. He said, I mean, this proper doing situation out here is going crazy in New York.
Yeah,
That's
people in New
fire.
York like to have the best of things, you know,
Yeah, you New
and
Yorkers
aren't
out
shy
there.
about it.
Yeah, you New
So,
Yorkers out there definitely like to talk and be the best of the best out there. All right, all
yeah,
right. My lady's
yeah. So the
New
proper
Yorker.
doinks format fits right into that, man, for sure.
Exactly. Well,
Mhm.
let me talk about a little bit of, who is like the living soil goat in a sense out there to you? Like who's,
Me, me.
motherfucker, he
No,
said shit. What do you mean?
no,
Hell
I'm playing.
yeah. Love the
Uh,
answer.
Man, Elaine Ingram just passed away. She was a monumental figure in Living Soil, has taught us so much.
Fire.
Jeremy from Build a Soil also is just a wealth of free education to everyone.
Wow.
I
Facts.
have to mention both those people. And I'm not very familiar with him, but Steve Cantwell from Green Life Productions in Las Vegas has the most beautiful living soil rooms I've seen, and 40, 50 cycles deep. I think he's probably one of the people to shoot for, you know, as
Damn,
far
that's
as
fire.
mhm.
No, I appreciate you
Yeah.
shedding light on some of the people out there. Do you yourself seek out the living soil growers? Is there a camaraderie between you guys? Because it
Yeah,
seems you're
kind
outnumbered
of.
like crazy.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, like you guys got
Yeah.
like you guys can do like a summer trip together and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, what's good?
That's funny. Yeah, no, there's less of us, but yeah, everybody seems to talk with everybody, even without that classification.
Okay,
Like everybody in the industry right now who's serious or getting ahead seems to be more than willing to help each other and collab and share information. It's not like it was back in the day where it was gatekeeping strains, gatekeeping education, like whether they're living soil, hydroponics, synganic, like we're in a great spot where most growers are really helping each other, man, push through.
and it seems like that, right? You when I talk
Yeah,
to people out there, they have their squad in a sense that they're hitting up and whatnot to help each other along, and it seems like it's the right group
right.
pushing along cannabis too. I've been having a great time with everybody in the network, seeing it go down on these battles. I'm trying to now. I'm out here trying to hunt everybody that's in this
Oh, me
network,
too,
right?
bro. It's
Yeah,
so
right. I'm like,
fun. It's
yeah,
so fun.
fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
like you said, like, am I hunting down living soil guys? No, not really. I'm hunting down exactly what's in that bracket.
There we go.
You know
Damn,
what I
that's
mean?
tight. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I want to test all that.
I love
Mm.
that. Well, let's get into it a little bit. What are some of the harsh truths in your mind about cannabis currently? Like, what are some of the things that when you look at cannabis, you've been in it for 20 plus years, you're looking at cannabis as a scale right now. What are some of the harsh truths that you think are out there?
Mm. Man, you know, it's all hard. Farming is hard. You know what I mean? People forget that growing weed is just farming, and farming is hard.
Okay.
But as uh, as people are falling off in the traditional market and things are getting harder, if you're willing to put in your effort and brand yourself and work hard, the opportunities might be better than they ever have in cannabis. In the 23, 24 years I've been in it,
Damn.
like the ability to reach out and talk to people, put your stuff in different cities, educate yourself is just unmatched. Yeah,
So
so people
true.
should be happy, man. You should be happy right now.
Right. Right. I feel that.
If
I
you're
feel
losing, yeah, there's people that are losing. If you're losing, man, you just educate yourself, go harder, find out where you made your mistakes and fix them, you know?
love that
And
advice, man.
the
Love
opportunity is
that.
here for everyone.
Love
Hmm.
that. Let's see what I mean. I got so many questions out there for you on this one. Is there anything out there though that like you want to make sure that we do talk about? Is there stuff that like questions about living soil that you asked a question earlier that you were wondering about on a large scale, right? Are there other questions out
Right.
there that you consider when it comes to cannabis, or are there things that you want to discuss?
Yeah, not in particular, really, but I think that just generally this type of conversation is so important because, like, in one sentence, and like I said, I really respect Lance and the first smoke of the day, but in one small sentence, it's like you can change a lot of people's minds, you know? And in a world where everybody wants organic food, cares about the earth, for somebody to want to stand on the hill against that, It's like, okay, it doesn't need to be a battle. It doesn't need to be a war, but maybe this is the art of it. The living soil. Maybe that's the champagne. When the batches are done right. But yeah, I just think to keep the conversation going is everything.
Well, with that, then, and this is where I've asked Proper Doinks, I've asked Adam, I said, why don't we have an organic bracket? And I understand that you're saying, no, I want to compete. But I
Yeah,
also look at it like, why not give organic and living soil growers a fucking full platform for
yeah,
them to be able to get some attention? Because right now, I think when you guys are competing, it is kind of putting that like, damn, like, look at they get knocked out all the time. So people out here, trying
right,
to, look at it as as equal. It can be done as this, that, and the other. When there's not
yeah.
as much out there to judge it off of, it's like give the opportunity for all the living soil
Right.
brands out there to really be a platform
Might be a
and build
bracket
it
of only
up.
like 6 people. You know what I mean?
That's wild. No shit.
Right.
That's good. There's gotta be more. There's just
Yeah, no, there are. And it's getting more popular, and I think you'll see more and more. I can't wait to see like when a guy like Joe over at LA Family Farms or some of these best growers in the world, truly with state-of-the-art facilities, when they get to give these beds a try, or slightly like the what we're going to achieve in the future, I think is going to be
mm,
massive. Like a
interesting.
facility like that should probably have organic living soil offerings as well as their standard, hydroponic things. If they're actually, I guess there has to be demand and it has to be worthwhile. So,
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at with it a little bit. It's like, okay, well, let's if I'm a facility out there and I'm looking at it and saying, okay, living soil is just has a reputation at this point that I don't know if I want to fuck with. But if
right,
you had a platform like Proper Doinks that put it on a pedestal and then people could recognize, oh shit, it's wide open. They only had,
right,
the X amount of, maybe it helps just build it up a little bit
yeah.
to bring more
You know,
shine to
I
it.
I I think they're doing it just right, man. Like
Love
everybody
it.
has the equal opportunity to fight it out. Like I said, in my opinion, the best batches come from both. So it's just going to take us fighting and battling on proper doinks to get the respect,
I
and I
love it.
think we will. I think most people do. Most people's arguments are that it's more consistently you'll get these salt batches at this high level, or they're cheaper at that quality level than the organic stuff. But uh, everything's going just the way it's supposed to, man. I think
Nice.
let everybody fight it out, and
Okay.
right,
I love to
yeah,
hear that because it's people who are competing that I want to hear from. And I know I have my opinion, but I'm not in that battle. Right. So like for
right.
someone that is in that battle and you're saying, nah, fuck that, put me up against whoever.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
fucking
have to.
go. Let's
Yeah,
fucking
if
go.
you win a bracket, and like the last one's a great example. If the competitors would have chosen to kick Faven out, whoever would have won that bracket, it's like you should feel sad, bro. Like you didn't
Woo!
really win,
Fact, huh?
So yeah,
Are you,
yeah,
oh yeah, that's fact though. I mean, and that's
yeah,
where I appreciate that the decision that was made, and I think that they were battling it with. But at the end of the day, it came down to their
yeah,
initial goal
yeah,
was to highlight the best thing smoking, and so like, yeah,
yeah. I think that they will, and I think your idea of like, hey, more what do they call that? Like more selections. Yeah, organic bracket, aeroponic bracket. Oh, they were talking about doing brackets for different states or
I mean, they're
regions.
talking about doing a fucking salad tossing bracket. We can't get us a goddamn
I
living
need in
soil
that,
one
man.
damn dog. That's
Yeah.
I to me that's cold. That's a cold world. That's a
That's
cold
gonna be a
world.
that's gonna be a funny one for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. Shout out
That'll be
to.
funny.
Hey, are you interested in
Yeah,
tossing some salad with people or what?
man. I mean, pause. But
Hey, I mean, look
yes,
at that's what. Hey, that's what they done to us, dog. You know what I mean? You know
right?
what? So what's up?
Yeah, nah, for sure. I have a couple options. We'll see who wants to roll them up though. Here, we gotta get through this next one first.
I love it, man. I love it. I
Yeah,
love the brackets, man. It's been cool watching you guys compete and stuff like that. And it's almost like fuck, man. Like now I'm gotten so into them. Like when there's not a bracket going on, it's damn near like
bro.
off
Yeah,
season of sports. I'm just kind of like
I agree.
waiting around and shit and let
I
them, you know
agree.
what I mean?
I
Like damn,
agree.
motherfucker. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree
shout out to
completely.
him.
Yeah, it
Man, I
gets the
appreciate.
dopamine going.
What's that?
I said it gets the dopamine
It,
going like crazy.
yeah,
For
okay.
sure.
Let's talk about because you've been in it, and what is some of the things you do when you're watching it? Are you stressed out? Are you fucking like
Oh
pacing back and
man.
forth? What do you got going on out there?
Yeah, man, you just try and roll up and smoke with them, but it is hugely anxiety inducing.
Yeah,
Knowing you got the guys out there ready to just either dog you out or win or it's all out of your control. Yeah, it's like an old boxing or wrestling match, like once you're in there and you're going, you don't think about it as much, but all that lead up to it, man, it's stressful.
yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, though. This man's entering into the open bracket. Doesn't quite know what he's gonna enter into it. I mean, what about the high rollers one?
I'm staying away from the high rollers one. I love the idea of the high rollers one. Man, just I want to win one of them.
Right,
But
right. So like you got to get a bracket outside of the high rollers, and then you're gonna join into something like that.
well, the whole reason I'm avoiding it this time is just because they're putting on a beautiful, massive event out there in California.
Yes,
I have some little legal things going on that prevent my traveling really freely.
got
And
you.
there's going to be I want to focus on New York City and the East Coast and the Billy Awards out here. But
Okay,
yeah,
are you
we'll be
entering
in,
into Billy?
yes, sir. Yep. Still trying to figure out
Okay,
what.
there we
But
go.
yep, I want to hit every division there for sure.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, man. Nice. Is entering into competitions sort of your way of getting out in the market right now? Like, or are you, and how do you select the competitions that you enter?
I think it's mostly just good marketing. Like I would do it even if it wasn't good marketing because I just love to compete
Nice.
like that.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
But yeah, the marketing, man, I haven't even won on Proper Smoke League yet. But they talk so positively and the battles are so close that it's like, yeah, it's great marketing.
Yeah.
And so many new people mention Proper Doinks when I meet them.
No shit.
So yeah, it's just worthwhile to do to stay in the competitions.
Oh, Proper Doinks is cooking.
Yeah, they're on it right now,
They are
man.
fucking on it, huh?
Yeah,
Damn.
might be bigger than any of them think it is.
I that's what I'm saying. Like how when the reason I found out about them is because like all of Arizona rollers like really
Right,
treated it
right.
like a church. You know what I mean? It like
Yep,
gave everyone like their fucking meeting ground and stuff like that. And once they had like their fucking like
yep,
leader,
yep,
ooh, did they start
yep,
talking?
yep,
I said, damn, calm
yep.
down, man. That's
They
awesome, man.
yeah, they put verbiage to to it that we can all understand,
Yeah.
and a method or a process of putting them against each other. So
Yeah, I like, and I really respect how the process came through too, because they just went through the science of it. I know that we're doing the grinder
mhm.
test and stuff like that, the paper test, and then they even like, not even just using the right grinder, but then like the type of grind, whether it's a
Yep,
fine or I was like, damn, you guys really broke it down. So
yep,
respect,
yep,
and it really
yep.
does break down the smokability. So like,
But I was gonna say, are they wrong? Are
no,
they
that's what I'm
wrong
saying.
though?
Like they really did. Like
Crazy, but no.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, no,
So
they're
yeah,
dead
shout
on.
out to him, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I got some other questions. I appreciate taking your time. I could spit with you all day, man. I could talk about cannabis. I know you're sick, though, man. I want to open it up to the chat if we could. I know chat has been kicking it with us. If you
Yeah, I'm
guys
just
have any
chilling, man.
questions, man, let us know. Drop them in there. We are kicking it with my guy right now, Stacks. Surreal Selections in the motherfucking building, talking about living soil and getting down with it. Let's see. Soggy Wash said 99.5% of the time living soil sucks. God damn it. What do you
God
say to
damn.
so I know, right? Like what is how do you get that a lot? Like when you're like, oh, it's living
Yeah,
soil?
man. Nah, that's just man, soggy wash biscuits, bro. You gotta find the right guy, man. You're buying something from the wrong guy, bro.
I
Stay
that's what
away
I
from him.
that's when people talk about Arizona
Yeah,
badly. I'm like, man, you just don't have the plug, dog, because Arizona's got some shit that's fucking
that's
smacking.
it.
So
Yeah.
it says more
Like, bro,
about you.
the living soil stuff is in huge demand. Like it is not 90% of the market or anything, but there's consumers who really specifically want just that, and they put it on a pedestal. So it's like it's not always easy to find the best living soils,
Ooh.
grows and stuff.
So you're over here like, wait a minute, I'm in a nice little position then because like if there's not a lot of us
I
out
think so,
here
yeah.
and because
Hmm.
I do understand like a demand for something that is naturally from the earth. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
people out there that definitely live that life. Like they will not want anything with any type of, you know.
Yeah, look at the event that Proper Doinks is about to throw. They're emphasizing the organic food and the locally sourced this and that. Everyone does. We all do. We understand it. So it's like cannabis can't be the only thing that doesn't get treated the same way, you know?
That's wild though when you say it like that, because it'd be like Proper Doinks event. We're doing all this organic. The only thing that's not organic is
Is
the
the weed.
weed.
Yeah,
Damn,
right.
guys. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
No, but like they said, it has the most to do with it's not available everywhere. Our best growers are forced to use these salt methods or have been for decades. But it's all going to come around, and I think people will be able to access it a lot more easily here too.
Yeah.
With places, you know, like the Green Door and all these places, it's
Yeah.
making it easier.
Have you popped on the green door?
Man, I don't know. I
No,
don't know,
I need to
maybe.
go look because I was interviewing. I don't know who it was on earlier this week, and I was like, "Oh, the green door. I haven't seen." Like, I'm on the green door. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
No, I
shit.
haven't yet. I haven't yet, but I've been talking with them, and I think we're gonna do like I don't want to be available there because I kind of have a waiting list of clients on through my website. But I do
Nice.
want to make some like really special things available on there for people who don't want to go through my verification or
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna get down with the Green Door here in the next couple weeks a little bit for
Oh
sure.
shit, there we go. Nice. Even
Yep.
something special for it too. Look at that. That's when you get that's when
Yep.
it's
Yep.
dope when you're doing something with the person that actually grows it because you could do things that are unique like
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah. It's
talked
more
about
fun.
getting your genetics out there or getting your IP out there. Are there people or lanes in the East Coast or in the nation that are besides myself? Because I know I've reached out type energy that have
Yeah.
been like, yo, what's good with some fucking surreal in the garden, baby?
Yeah, you know, I would say much less than in California and places like that at the moment, but between some of the better growers in Maine and New York,
Mm.
there is a lot of things that are starting to change hands, and it seems like people are starting to get that work together type attitude.
But wait a minute though. Well, you allow them to grow it in a fucking or
Ooh,
yeah, synthetic?
I
What?
I would, yeah, I think I would let them try.
Oh, you get
But you know, okay, so that's another thing where you end up with a lot of different varieties will have different expressions through
okay.
these different systems.
Yeah.
Permanent marker is a good example from what I've noticed in most hydroponic systems. You end up with like a speared, sharp-looking nug. You know, it takes on nitrogen. It's a slow-growing vegetation plant. But in the beds, it's a much rounder, thicker leaved, darker plant. And
Mm,
it's like the expression is so much different that
mm.
not with all of them, but you can count on getting different expressions. You know, the guy that's growing it in Rockwool will not get the same expression that I will, for better or worse for either of us.
Nice. And when you say like that, it kind of it brings me back to the living soil. And is it similar to that situation with living soils that like you'll get different expressions depending on what living soil is in it, right? You know what I mean?
Less of that, less of that.
Really?
Because remember, when you're living soil, when you're growing in beds, it's more about balance. The plant will call for the nutrition and take what it wants when it wants. Chemically, that breaks down in chemistry to just ions and very basic things.
Wow.
So it's not going to look different whether you have rarely some maybe sometimes, but if you're choosing to use soybean meal over alfalfa meal, you're not going to have that that much different of an expression.
My
Typically,
man. Okay.
has more to
Okay.
do with the volume of substrate and the environment.
Wow. So they bring it more to a science that everyone with a living soil is trying to get to. So there's not going to be diversity between all of the. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
some. I mean, there is some people choose to use guano or
Batshit.
certain amendments that are different. Yeah, batshit. But like people were originally thinking, oh, there will be a terroir thing. Like, oh, my bed expresses differently because it's like a real. I have indigenous microorganisms from France, and that's not really the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
No. 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 No.
yeah, like there's people putting some extra salsa on the taco for sure in living soil also.
Write
You
their own
know?
little like secret sauce on it that you just like.
Yeah,
You just want to say you did something
yeah,
different.
yeah.
Dog,
Like,
if
oh,
you,
great. You like grinded up peyote and put it in your bed. Like,
it's like you
probably not gonna do anything.
you
It's a
cut the
great
worms in
story though.
half, so you double the worms, but you're still the same
Yeah,
worms. So
yeah.
you know, come on now. Oh, my
Yep.
man, dog, you are a trooper for going through this interview right now, and I can tell that you need to go get some rest, my guy. You know,
Yeah.
I
I was
almost,
excited to do it, bro. I'm a big fan of yours. This show is, I put it on almost every day when
no
I'm,
shit.
working, doing nursery stuff. It's just, yeah, you got the news, you got the homies in the chat
Yeah.
talking about the brackets. It's like, yeah, I hope you go to the moon, bro.
My man, dude, I appreciate that. What I'd like to say, this is part one of our conversations, man. I'd love to have you popping on here regular and just gaming
Yeah, I'd
us
be
out
happy
on that
to.
living soil journey that you and the five others are out there rocking.
Right.
No,
I,
I'm
I
playing.
wanted to, like, I didn't want to go overboard and try and educate everyone. People hate being educated or get like, nerdy about it. It's like there's certain ways that you should think about it that are easy for people to understand. And it's like we can always go deeper, later or more
Yeah,
specific questions, but it's
absolutely.
like just want people really to know that like, man, the fire can come from everywhere for
Love that.
sure.
Love
Yeah.
that. And I appreciate that you're down to jump on regularly because I think it would be nice to have you in my corner to be able to have those questions from someone that has
Yeah.
so much experience when things pop off in our
Thank you, man.
communities, because there's always something to talk about here with cannabis, and,
Yeah,
and to have
for
you
sure.
to be able to call up is going to be dope, my man. All right, my man. Well, go get some water. Go chill.
Yeah, thank you, man.
My man, thank you. And we'll be talking some more soon.
Yep. Have a good day, brother.
Man, that was tight right there. Talking to, I'm gonna say my dude right now. Okay, I'm gonna say my motherfucking dude. Stacks over here
Yep.
doing his thing
You already know.
right there. Shout out to him, you guys. Thank you for popping in here today. Again, always fun kicking it with you guys. This is what we do on the morning wood. We talk about the weed. Who's growing the weed? Who's smoking the weeds? Who? No, what's up though, chat? Before I get out of here, I'm gonna blaze this up. I'm gonna kick this off, and I haven't got a chance to spend a little bit of time with you today, and I kind of want to know how you doing, what you smoking. Thank you for popping in here. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm out here in Arizona, and unlike a lot of you guys out there, we don't change our time. No, we're gonna keep it right here. Hey, that's tight. He says he puts on the morning wood every day. I'm clipping. I'm clipping it. Because when you smoke weed, you should be watching TMW. Julio Glass, sir, I'm doing great. Smoking some Moon Valley later. There we go. Shout out to you. Does that mean you're a glass blower? I'm assuming, obviously, you threw glass at the end of your name. How's life for you in the glass world? We're going to start having some glass artists pop onto the morning wood. I've been in the glass selling business damn near 20 years now, and riding the waves with it. You know what I mean? And currently it seems like it's a struggle bus out there. So definitely be popping in. We're gonna have a guest on here. I know that Steve from Sovereignty Glass has talked about wanting to join here. Drop some eggs in the chat if you'd like to see Steve. I don't know if I've ever seen Steve do an interview before. He said it's the lunchtime wood in Atlanta. What's up, Atlanta? What's your weed tasting like out there? How's it living? Shout out to you guys. Nice too. We are gonna have another glass artist here on that. My mind is just drawing a blank on here right now that we were planning on having next week. So more and more, yo, Steve from Fire, right? Dare I ask him? Is there still beef between him and Toro? Ooh, if you don't know, that was a story. Ooh, to get that story, because I only heard about it after the fact, right? I don't even know what really went down between those two. I'd be curious what went down between JP and Steve. You know, that we haven't seen. Maybe is a story out there. If you know the story, let me know. Get Nate Dizzle. Oh, that'd be tight. You know what? That's what's tight is I do have a lot of connections. Like I could definitely reach out to Nate Dizzle. I carried Nate Dizzle. I was one of the few authorized retailers at High Maintenance. Who else? I could probably get Scott Deppy, Mothership. I could probably get looking at the cases and stuff like that. Illadelph. I could probably get Ghost on here. Jerome Baker. I probably can get Jerome Baker on this bitch. And if you don't know the story of Jerome Baker, he's one of the ones that went to jail for selling bongs. Him and Tommy Chong. Operation Pipe Dreams. We could dive into that. He's out there now floating around. Punty. Shout out to Punty. I can get Punty on this motherfucker for sure. What about the event Toro just sponsored? Then the event coordinator stole everyone's money? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Dank? Oh, I hate to see that shit go down. You hate to see that go down. I have connections with Action Bronson. I don't know if he would jump on this because he's done so much of his own content. I think he would, I don't know if he would pop on here like that. But I mean, this doesn't hurt to ask. You know what I started realizing yesterday is, how I bring up certain topics? I think that I could reach out to some of the people in those stories and be like, yo, I'm about to cover this topic. Do you want to jump on and talk about it? I think PSN, due to First Smoke of the Day and Proper Doinks, is big enough for me to try to use those two platforms to be like, these two platforms want to discuss it on their news platform type energy, right? And see if I can't get some guests like that, right? I'm gonna stretch it, dude. You got to get out here and work those angles, baby. Come on now. Yo, shout out to Surreal right now. Shout out to my dude out there. All right, smoking right now the Truffle Monkey. I'm rating the 6.7 as one that I was thinking that was smacking harder for me. Had a very strong taste, very strong palate. The Z came across very well. Obviously, I feel like we all know it's going to be smooth. I almost should ask that question too. And part 2 is going to be coming up. Do you feel like I fucked up on any questions? Did I miss any questions out there? Let me know. Put me on the motherfucking blast right now. Because we'll have a part 2. I felt like maybe one of them was like do you think the expectation matches when people feel that living soil is going to be smoother, right? We touched on a lot of cool topics though. The Bootleg Kev. Hey, you know how many people out here, shout out to my dude Bootleg Kev, man. A lot of people out here say that I look like Bootleg Kev. I don't see it. And if anything, he looks like me. Fuck that. I was kidding, man. Obviously, he's a goat. Shout out to him. That's my homie's cousin. So, we run into each other anytime. Like Burn Dog's in town, we pull up. We see each other. I can get fucking Bootleg on this bitch. If you guys put some eggs in the chat, you want me to get Bootleg on this motherfucker. I haven't seen Bootleg do too many interviews, right? But I'll throw this motherfucker on here. Shit. I'll fucking confuse you guys and shit. I should have I shouldn't have him do a guest host one day and shit like that. And you guys fucking wouldn't even notice. Right? That's what I'm saying, Sagi. Damn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jack. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's go. I'm gonna put some mustard in the chat for that one. Yo, when are we gonna see Proper Doinks back? Fuck. What are they doing? I guess they didn't get that whole no days off shit, huh? They're like, what are you talking about? I'm with the kids. Let me go over to their page, though. Let's see if they got anything on the deck here saying, like, later today. Wow, dude. They are just starving us right now. That's a cold world. Now that I know, man, holy shit. The nation out there cooking with some proper doings, huh? No wonder. I mean, obviously the fucking tips exploding out there. That Ryan interview was super dope. Thank you, Fall Dog. I appreciated that. Look, we're starting to get into clipping now. No big deal. We're becoming an official podcast. Shout out to my dude Nubs. Shout out to Ruben as well on the squad. Shout out the whole squad, but like we're getting clips is the point here. Okay. You saw yesterday's clip. Whew, taking off. Today's clip. Oh shit, I'm on first smoke of the day. No big deal. You see this mug on first smoke today. Watch out. No big deal. No, it's a big deal. We're building it, and it's because of you guys, all right? Look, I just want to say thank you guys so much for popping in. Just talking about the weed with me. Let's talk about the weed, baby. Oh, shit. I appreciate you, DJ. I'm out here, man. I'm just another motherfucker, dude. I'm just another motherfucker. Where it's worked out is I just always have been out there hunting for the best weed that I can find. One of the things that I used to say all the time until my bank account got fucked up was like, if you were ever out there in the world and you come across the best weed that you have ever found in your life, I need an ounce of it. Buy me an ounce. I'll get you. I don't give a fuck. You know, that's always been my energy in life is find that good weed, right? So now I'm over here getting up, chop it up with goats. Bro, shout out to Adam. Shout out to Proper Doinks and First Smoke of the Day for allowing me just to sit back and chop it up with these guys, right? Like, it's pretty dope. Pretty dope. How's the shoe game? You know, not really one of those like Jordans kind of guys, man. I normally just kick it. I even wear I go back in the day and get those DC like slip-ons, dog. I ain't playing. I'll pull up on some DC slip-ons still. Yeah, unk status like a motherfucker, right? Hello. I've come to terms with the unk status, though. I've fucked with it. I'm with it. I'm embracing it. It is real. Really, there's nothing I can do about it because I am at that general stage where it's like, nah, I ain't doing this shit that these young cats is doing. Hell no. Ooh, currency? I hope eventually we can build this show up where to certain people just want to go on it. That would be lit. But I think if I reached out to Currency right now, he would be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna need that motherfucking money.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
So I think right now we'll be patient and build it up. You're going to tag me in a bowl. Let's fucking go. Tag me. Dude, if you guys are out there smoking reefers, let me see it. I want to fucking see what's going on out there. How do you smoke, right? I mean, obviously you guys all smoking up doinks and shit like that, but who's rolling up blunts with me and Improper? Who's rolling the blunts with me and Improper? Smoke Dog in here said, me, motherfucker, shit, I rolled those blunts. What are you talking about? DGR says he's got 300 per.
Wow.
Damn, dude. I wouldn't even know where to put 300 pair. I would be cooked. Yo, Surreal, you got me stoned in this motherfucker, dog. I am stoned. Love it. Love me some reefer. It's about that time, though. I'm going to get out of here, you guys. I appreciate you kicking it with me here. Weekdays, 10 a.m., where we get down and we talk about the reefers. And we talk about it with people who are out there doing it, right? I'm out there doing it too, you know what I'm saying? But no. I'm talking about people that got the name and the following and the fucking nationwide. We are hearing from goats on this motherfucker, man. Shit, mustard in the chat. Mustard in the chat. I'm out. Blunts when my sister comes over, though. Okay, you know what I'm saying? With the sis, huh? She won't smoke anything else, and she's older. Damn, I wonder if blunts is going to be like an old head thing. Fuck. That got me fucked up. All right, marijuana, though. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. You damn fucking right we talk about that shit. Yes, my friends. Marijuana. Do you care how motherfuckers smoke you? Like, do you look down on someone that mixes it up with some goddamn tobacco? I'm curious. Well, marijuana, we gonna talk about it tomorrow. I'll see ya.
What the fuck?